stage, man. You important, brother.
Got a little heated today, man. How you feel up there?
All the guys are ready to fight. It's fight time. I love this time. I love this time.
What's the craziest thing someone's ever said to Floyd at the way? The word bitch was exchanged today, but did Maidana say anything? I'm trying to think of
It's been so many. It's been so many, man. I would have to dig back in that mental Rolodex. It's been so many.
What irked Floyd? Is there anything that irked Floyd?
No. Floyd. See, the thing about Floyd is that it's levels to this. And understanding anytime, you've been in several big fights, it's just another day at the office. I mean, I've seen guys at many weigh-ins get taken out of their fight game. Oh yeah, most definitely.
So that is true. That is true. So you can say something or do something that can take a percentage away from that fight mentally.
Kidding me? Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh yeah, that mental warfare is. Yeah. So I mean, when you prepare, you go out there and you put in the work. You're confident in your skills. Go out there and do your job.
How soon are you announcing? How soon are you announcing Tank's fight? When is that? When do you?
We got time. We got time. We got time.
I gotta book my flight, man. I gotta get that $200 round trip ticket.
So Leonard is fighting at home?
1,000%. 1,000%. It's gonna be a huge event. Baltimore, are y'all ready? DMV, are y'all ready? We're gonna show y'all how we bring big time boxing back to that DMV area.
It seems like Tank does bring out the stars, man. He gets the big timers, Drake and Meek Mill. Do you think it's because of how he fights in the ring, his personality?
Combination of everything. Your ability to connect with your target audience is natural. It's natural. He's a big star already in the sport. And again, I don't need to say them same words again. I'm gonna show y'all how it's done. Floyd has laid out a master plan. Ready to go.
Stevenson added his name to the Tank Davis. I'm not sure if you saw that interview this week. Stevenson was 130 and fight the best.
He's good. He's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. Very good fighter. A guy that has tremendous skill set. Good fighter.
Do you read into what Terrence Crawford said? He said something yesterday that kind of made my ears percolate. He said that I've been trying to fight Manny Pacquiao for years and it never happened. You got to talk to the men. I tried to make the fight and they wouldn't make the fight, basically. And Bob Arum rebutted that previously and said that I basically protected Manny from Terrence Crawford. Did you hear that?
No, I don't know any about their intimate discussions and personal discussions they got was going on. One thing I do know that there was an attempt to try to get him to fight Terrence Crawford, but why the fuck would he do that? that benefits them. It don't benefit Manny Pacquiao. I'm talking about when he was still with them. But again, that's their business. I'm not one who stick my nose into other people's business. I could care less what they got going on. I got to focus on what we got going on, continue to elevate my guys and our promotions that we're involved in.
What matchups would you want to see at Welterweight Division? Everyone's doing their fantasy matchups, but no fight is signed yet, but you're behind the scenes. I don't want to give away the information, or you don't want to give away the information. What type of fights would you want to see?
We get ready to see him. You get ready to see him. It ain't going to be no talking about it. You get ready to see these matchups happening. They're going to happen as soon as possible. And that's what it's about. Making the best fights out there for the fans.
It sounds like to me, Leonard, that you're really trying to change the level of boxing with more boxing and entertainment. Is that kind of like it's always been entertainment in it, but with these new fighters like shows like Javante and it looks like it's really bringing more fans to it. Is that?
Well, that just has to do with the fighter having the ability to cross over and to attract a different fan base. See, again, boxing as a whole is about like this, and most promoters think like that. They don't think outside of the box. They don't think from a global perspective on how you grow the sport and how you, not all promoters, but there's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. And you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. That's why it's with this whole maturation process with Tank Davis, you'll see. Right? It's nothing to talk about. You see, he has one of the biggest followings right now in the entire sport, and he's a young gun in the sport, and the ball is just now getting rolling now. It's just getting ready. Watch what we get ready to do. Just watch. Just stay tuned. We're gonna show you how to sell out arenas. We're gonna show you how to bring excitement back to the sport. Tank Davis, real deal.
And you're not talking about 20 years from now. You're talking about now.
Tank Davis reminds me of the way that back in the day and I'm not comparing the two, about how Tyson used to bring them out. Floyd Mayweather is next level stuff. But I'm talking about how that, again, because we're talking about similar performances. You know, Tank don't play with it. Tank don't play with it. He's an animal in that ring. He's an animal in that ring, and we're excited for what the future holds for him. And it's going to be one hell of a run. One hell of a run.
I got a chance to talk to Eddie Hearn last week. He told me in an interview that he's willing to work with you guys at Showtime to make Tank and Tevin Farmer. Would you be interested in that?
Dude, say that again now?
Yeah, I talked to Eddie Hearn last week. He said that he's willing to work with Showtime to get a match between Tank and Tevin Farmer. Would you guys be interested in that if it can be worked out?
We're always going to make the fights that we want to make. I don't have to go through Eddie Hearn to do that. No disrespect. I don't have to do that. I mean, if you know, when the time is right, you know, we'll make him an offer. It's as simple as that. I mean, you know, I think Farmer is one of the fighters that has really benefited from that relationship. And as a young dude who comes from the culture, I'm really proud of him, how he's been able to uplift himself out of his other situation, meaning out of poverty. You know, and it was a great situation for him to sign that. Now that particular fighter that worked for, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't. Lou has done a phenomenal job with him. Lou should be getting the credit, you know, because Lou did a phenomenal job with putting him in fights. You know that, and it was hard to get him fights, and you know they stuck together, they grinded together, and I'm excited for him. You know, because again, I don't have nothing negative to say about anybody, but when the time is right to make that fight, I mean, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Huh? We're gonna fight all the biggest and best guys out there in no particular order. And I'm very confident Tank's gonna beat each and every one of them in dramatic fashion. In dramatic fashion. And the scary thing is, Tank ain't even touched the surface on how good he's gonna be. He's still learning. There's not one fighter out there. How you doing? There's not one fighter out there that can't improve on their skills. There's not one fighter out there who's a perfect fighter. Not one. And especially when you're a young fighter, you can always improve, and that's what it's all about.
Speaking of improving, what advice would you give to Eddie Hearn to being better in the American market?
I really don't have any advice. Again, is that, you know, he's a good promoter. He's definitely a good promoter, but it's different in the United States. It's a little different ball game, and I'm sure that he's finding that out, you know, sooner than later, and you know, but I'm sure down the road, whatever he's trying to do, hopefully it works. It'll be good for the sport, but I can't really speak on you know, their situation, and because it don't really have anything to do with me, you know. But when you involve in my fighter and you bring up my fighter name, then I'm gonna speak on it, you know, and none of that made any sense, you know, when, you know, we're talking about making us an offer or whatever. Fuck, I need anybody to make Tank Davis an offer. None of that makes any sense.
What was your reaction when people say you'll fight Tank for free?
I didn't have a reaction. I just laughed. Don't really have an act. Because again, I'm not into disrespect. Somebody told him to say that. Somebody told him to say that. Let's make it make some sense. But it don't matter anyway. He couldn't be Tank anyway. Don't matter. He's what, like 37?
He's older. He's older. Because he was in the round boxing thing before he actually came to pro. So. I don't know. Into Olympics.
I don't know. They you know, again.
Tank is at 130. He's not 135. He'll be more dangerous.
We're focused on what we're doing right now. Tank is fighting his next fight, a big fight at home. We're not concerned about. We have a plan for him, and it's a long-term plan. We have short-term goals and long-term goals, and we're gonna execute. And he's gonna be the biggest guy in the sport. We're gonna show you how it's done.
Who should AJ fight? Should he fight Luis Ortiz? I heard his name. Trevor Bryant.
I don't know. I mean, I gave it one thought because you know, that was a good fight. It was a good fight, and it's unfortunate that it fell out for obvious reasons. But I don't know, and I got so much shit to worry about what we got going on. I could care less what any other promoter is trying to do. But it's a tough spot for Eddie to be in for a last-minute replacement. But I'm sure they'll do. I'm sure they'll do good.
Gary Russell just announced he's fighting Kiki Martinez. Is that one of your tantalizing fights in the DMV
Most
area?
definitely.
Gary Russell, Davis.
Most definitely. He's a very exciting, young, flashy fighter. I got a lot of respect for him. Yeah. No. Him, all his brothers, all of them can fight. You know, they doing their thing.
I know you said you already had the plan for Tank, but I've already worked with Leo. Have Leo got to you about fighting Tank? I know you told us that you would like to fight.
Leo, again, I think another fighter I think very highly of. Leo he's the real deal. He has a combination of everything, and he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the sport. Very super respectful, and a tremendous fighter. Great champion. I would love for Tank to fight him.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Leonard.
Yeah.